Hey y'all, I thought it'd be fun today to dive into Greenwood Village 80111 and show you what's happening in the real estate market right up to date with all the new data that we have. So this screen here shows that this market overall is still in a seller's market and it's holding pretty steady. You'll see that this graph here shows the lower portion in gray is last month and the green portion is this month. So you'll see that this bar is actually holding still in a seller's market. And remember, a seller's market simply means that there's more buyers out there than inventory. So it's just a balance of supply and demand at that point. Overall, we do have just low inventory in general in 80111 as this note states. So some of these numbers are going to be hard to average until we start seeing our inventory increase, which we typically start to see here in January all the way through June is when our spike. And believe it or not, our biggest spike is the weekend after Super Bowl. So let's watch for that in February. Let's go over here to the right under the real-time market profile and look at the median price. What I find interesting here is even though, of course, in the news headlines, you'll see that the price decreases are happening across the nation, but also here in the metro area. Overall, you've had increases here in Greenwood Village. Now, again, this might be because you've had a few large priced homes coming on the market, which could be skewing all this data. But overall, it was pretty flat throughout last year. The last date was, let's see, December 23rd was the average price was 1.5, and then it's been climbing ever since. So right now you're at an almost 3.3 million average price point. The average days on market is still increasing. That's this line here. So you'll see that you're at 112 days, average days on market. And that's the time from when you list to when you get a buyer who chooses your house and puts you under contract. So 112 days, roughly 3 months. You see that that's still gone up. In November, it was at 65. Back in October, it was at 53. So that is still climbing. That also could be affected by the recent holiday months that we just had. So just keep that in mind. This isn't necessarily a forecast of what's to come because you've had November and December, which historically does not have as much buyer activity. So you might have had some homes that are sitting on the market through those holidays. So we'll watch this and see what that trend looks like going forward. The average for price decreased, so these are homes that decreased their price prior to going under contract, is at 50%. Now, this is coming down slightly. In December, it was at 80%. 80% of homes were having a price decrease before selling. And so it's at 50% now, which is a much better trend line. We're actually starting to see that number come down overall for the metro area, which is great. The relisted number, this might be skewed just because of the low inventory that we're looking at. Relisted is simply if you are on the market, you get a buyer who chooses your house and puts you under contract. And then for whatever reason, they terminate. If they interest rates, they can't afford it any longer. If they've changed their mind, they found something better, then that would be a relist. So that's at zero now. But I just think that number is skewed, particularly because of the low volume that we're looking at as our sample. So going down here for median list price, this graph is awesome. It shows both the 7-day average and the 90-day average. So if we just look at the 7-day average, you can see these spikes. And this is typical for real estate because we usually list a house on towards the weekend and then it's quiet through the week. So you start to see these spikes. So I think the 90-day average is a little bit better to look at for an overall trend line. So 90-day average for the median list price again. You'll see that all of this has changed over the past couple of years, but it's really holding steady for Greenwood Village in particular for the past 6 months or so. And actually you started to see a little bit of a climb here for the median list price. And again, this can be because we've got some more inventory that's coming on the market and some higher priced homes. So that can really influence it. Now, if we look at the 7-day average for the median list price, you'll see, again, these spikes. But just in the past week, we've had, or actually past couple of weeks, we've had a couple of significant spikes. So it looks like your market is starting to heat up. Now, let's look at this same graph for average days on market, or median days on market, excuse me. And you'll see that this is climbing just a little bit. Now, if we just look at the 7-day average first, you'll see that this is climbing just since October with the number of 112 days that we've talked about right now. But if you also look in the historical averages, right at the beginning of the year, you typically do have a spike, and then the median days on market starts to come down as our buyers come out for the first usually 6 months of the year. We have a little bit of a slow period in the summer, and then it starts back up again. So it looks like this year might be off to more of a normal start than we've had before. And let's look again at the properties with price decrease, both 7-day average and the 90-day average. The 90-day average is looking really healthy. It's not, you can see last year that we've had just some massive spikes in the price decreases. Some of that was because we didn't have very much inventory. We didn't have a lot of buyers that are coming out. Houses were getting more unaffordable because of the interest rates. So right now you'll see that this is leveling off, and it looks like if we look at the 7-day average here, the 7-day average shows that price decreases are coming down, which is so healthy and so on point and on trend for our Denver real estate market here. So if you like these graphs, I can actually hook you up so that these come straight to you, and you can change all the different views that you're looking at. Or if you want it, if you're interested in a different zip code, all you do is put in the zip code that you're interested in, click on subscribe, and it will send this report to you every week so that you can watch it. So hit me up, 303-884-2738. My name is Cher Revolinski from eXp Realty. I'll talk to you soon.